we want to cut into last year's growth, but not into the really hard woody stuff. We strip the base, and I have rooting hormone here. This one is at 1,250 parts of indole acid, and the rest is water.
And what does the rooting hormone do?
It induces them to root. And this is the hormone that a plant sends to itself to say it's time to root. This I did last year. This is 1 year old. Same, you know, it looked like this. And this is what it looks like now. This is 2 years old. And then this is Erica glauca, and it's 4 years old. So those are my Ericas, and this is the method I use to generate them.
Great.
Okay. Be sure you get your labels right.
Oh, labeling is fairly important. On this flat, what I have labeled is I have the date, I have the name of the plant. I should, if I were being a little more thorough, I would write where I collected it, and then my name, so that when people work in the greenhouse, they know whose flats are whose.
You're preparing the cuttings?
I'm taking the cutting that I made in the woods and then stripping off the bottom leaves. This, by the way, is huckleberry. It's even got a little berry on it. That's very good. That was good huckleberry. And then cutting it to some sort of new growth area, and then making a slice in the stem so that it damages it, and it can make it easier for these chemicals I'm putting it into to be absorbed. This is a hormone that we're putting it into, and this hormone promotes root growth. You know, we're trying to stimulate roots to develop, of course. These guys are shrubs, so these guys are going to take, you know, a good 3 months to develop roots. So they don't develop roots easily. But these are from up by Fort Bragg, so they really like, you know, that kind of marine layer, and they like redwoods and fog and a lot of moisture.
Do you think cuttings from Fort Bragg will do okay in our environment?
Well, I live over on the other side of the hill, and I sure don't think they're going to do well over there. But here, on this side of the hill, I would imagine that if you've got a nice shady spot in your yard, it should work pretty well.
We're going to make some planting media. It's a third perlite, it's a third fir bark, and it's a third ultra bedding mix from American Soil. The perlite is to add aeration, and the fir bark is to just help the soil not be so compact. So in winter, you might make a different mix than you would in summer because of the rains that we hope to get. Okay, so now I need, depending on how long you're going to have your plants in this mix, you might want to add fertilizer. So I'm going to go get the fertilizer. It's a cooking show!
Okay, what kind of fertilizer do you use here?
We're using a coated fertilizer. It's a slow release fertilizer. It's a 14-14-14, which is 14 nitrogen, 14 PK.
Potassium?
Yeah, we'll just say it's got 14-14-14 NPK.
Sounds good to me.
So I'm going to sprinkle this in and really mix it thoroughly. When you go to plant in this mix, you're going to want to wet it, because it will leach the water out of the plant material. Not so much a seed, but cuttings. If you're going to place cuttings or any slightly rooted material in it, you will need to make sure that it's moist. So you see how some of the soil is sticking to each other. That's a good sign. It's not too wet, and it's not too dry. So there you go.